had a lot of respect for Coach Richardson and that Wheeling team. We kind of, like I said, we have a saying with amongst ourselves in our program. We respect everybody, fear no one. Obviously, had a lot of respect for him and his program. Be wishing them well as the season goes on. Appreciate everybody. It came out on a Sunday afternoon for an exhibition. NFL Sunday, homecoming weekend. A lot of stuff going on, and again, I think that's what makes this place uniquely special, especially in this time period. It's fun to be out there in Hope Coliseum in front of your fans, put the jerseys on for the first time. Thought defensively, thought we were fairly consistent for the most part. Took them deep into the shot clock. Was able to do that several times, not break down, make it hard on them. And again, they can challenge you in different ways. They're smaller, kind of 5 out, can put you in space, but I thought we did a good job of not getting spread out. Wasn't crazy about the way we started the second half. Again, our closed door scrimmage, our closed door not so secret scrimmage anymore was kind of similar. Didn't feel like we started great to come out of halftime. We talked about that at halftime today and still came out a little slow. So that was disappointing. Got back in the flow of it and thought our defense was good enough when nights, when you're not shooting the ball well, which you're not always going to shoot it. Kind of anticipated that a little bit as well as we shot it in our closed door scrimmage. You kind of know you're like just the law of averages. But thought Harlan did a really good job establishing himself below. And I think that can be a plus for this team, as you will have to decide: are you gonna play those guys solo when they get into the post, or are you gonna bring help and then you open up some 3-point shooting? So all in all, it was great to be out there, and in a lot of ways, glad that it's over.
Questions, please.
For us, the Mountain East is known for its tempo, the high tempo, high offense. Do you get a sense of that from just how Wheeling played?
Yeah. I mean, they came in averaging close to 80 points a game last year, and in their scrimmage, they scored a ton of points, and they play with really good pace. And again, they can spread you out and drive you. And I thought our guys did a good job of getting back in transition. Obviously, in basketball, it's not like football. You don't have your offense on the field and then they run off and then your defense comes in. So I thought our offense for the most part did a good job of taking good shots, and you get to balance the floor and you don't give up a lot in transition. And did, like I said, contested well. They made some tough ones and turned them over. I thought we did a good job turning them over 9 times at half. Wish we could have been a little more active in the second half, but all in all, on defensive end, was pleased overall with our effort.
Yeah, Huff had plus 25, plus minus. What's his impact like on the floor, even when he's not having his best shooting night?
Yeah, I think he's mentioned it in some press conferences. There is a gravitational pull when he's on the floor. People are going to have to know where he is, and Eagle staff's the same way, so they can still impact the game in other ways, and that's a large, in part, why they came here. They knew they needed to become better defenders. They knew they needed to find other ways other than just scoring, and Honor does that. He's a good passer. He opens things up for the rest of his teammates because, you maybe take one player that's just going to stay really close to him, and now Harlan's on the benefit of just having one-on-one in the post with a smaller defender, and that's a good, again, just a good indicator of how bought in he is, in my opinion, that on a night where he was not shooting it well, that he still had an impact to find, the best, the highest plus minus of anybody in the game.
Coach, outside of maybe a few minutes here and there, Honor and Eagle staff weren't really on the floor a lot together, by design or just maybe looking at something there.
Just nothing planned out. We knew we were going to play, a lot of guys. We knew we were not going to try to stretch anyone's minutes super far. So a lot of it was just organically the way the game came on. Nothing specifically, nothing planned.
And then sort of off that, so this was maybe kind of some type of picture of, when they're not hitting a ton of shots like you probably want them to. Okay, where else do we get, production from
Yeah.
him. And then, I mean, that's maybe kind of the story.
Yeah, I definitely. Again, I think because they have so much gravity, if you choose to play very special, close attention to them, then you're gonna play our forwards one-on-one. Whereas in our closed door scrimmage, the team, Maryland, they double teamed the post, and those guys are also good passers. Like Harlan's a very good passer, Belo's a very good passer. All those guys are very good passers. Probably at times a little too unselfish, for me. But it's a great habit, and so I think you do get into that. Like you're gonna have to pick your poison a little bit, and again, I'm not been doing this a little while, and so I certainly know we're not going to make 23s every time we step out on the floor. And they had good looks, they had good looks, and that's why our whole team wants them to keep shooting them, and no one even bats an eye.
If you could get them, right? 23s.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Make my job a lot easier.
What did you not like about your defense today?
I didn't like the way we started the second half. I thought early on we had them in some really tough spots, and we kind of had like ticky-tack fouls to put them on the line. Again, when as much movement as they have, and it's literally like 5 out on the floor and everybody's moving, there were a few possessions where I felt like the longer the possession went, then you also saw the white jerseys getting spread out, and that's when you get driven. If you were to look at the possessions where we forced shot clock violations or made really difficult shots, it's usually because our defense was really intact and you kept the ball out of the paint. You made them make a tough shot. And they made a couple tough shots, but over the course of 40 minutes, that just isn't going to beat you. So it was really the start of the second half was disappointed in. A couple silly fouls in the first half, which maybe is to be expected, a little jittery, a little anxious. But all in all, I thought our effort was fairly good on the defensive end.
First win at Hope Coliseum, first country roads. How special was that for you?
Yeah, it was incredible. You see it on TV, and again, I'm a fan of college basketball and college sports in general. So I've seen lots of big Monday games in here, and lots of big wins that I wasn't a part of, and to actually be in it instead of just witnessing it was really cool, man. And again, I mentioned to my wife who's in town, even last night at the football game, and I know Coach Rodriguez and them aren't having the type of year that they want to have or the type of year that they will have in the future, but to still see 54,000 people show up, in the midst of a tough stretch, to me, is what can separate us and what gives us a distinct advantage when everybody's looking for advantages. What is our advantage is that we have one of the most passionate, one of the most loyal fan bases, and they keep showing up and they keep supporting you. So it was awesome to be out there and experiencing it firsthand.
Coach, what are your positives and negatives from both your exhibition game and your closed-door scrimmage?
I felt like both times our togetherness was really good. I thought our bench was good. I thought our guys are legitimately playing for each other and playing for, West Virginia, and not playing for themselves or out there trying to do things that we don't normally see them do in practice. That's kind of what you're measuring a lot of this stuff. You're looking at body language. Again, you're not always going to play. We played about as good offensively as you could have in the closed-door scrimmage. I mean, we had like 23 assists and 4 turnovers. I've never seen anything like that, especially this early in the year. We have 4 turnovers when we're running 5-on-0 offense in practice. But even today, when shots weren't going on, you didn't see anybody. If you miss a shot and you are very theatrical, you look to the sky, look at Jesus, like, why am I missing? And that's kind of more an internal response to missing shots, instead of missing a shot and then just looking right over a hoop. Hey, man, good pass. I'll make the next one. Yes, you will make the next one. Now you're kind of seeing a connected group.
Bringing Brennan from North Texas, what was it like getting him his first career start in college?
Yeah, it was. I didn't even think about that. But that was. I'm happy for him. Obviously I'm thrilled he came, with us. I mean, he could have went to a lot of places, could have went just about anywhere in the country, honestly, and he hopped in that portal with a do not contact in, and so I know he talks about how grateful he is for our coaching staff, and equally as grateful for him. And he's put a lot of work in. He's matured. He's earned that. And the coolest thing about him, to my opinion, you got to remember, he was a first-team All-League player in the American last year, and not one time did he ever mention the words like, can I, can I start, or like never even brought it up. So again, that's kind of the heart and the embodiment you want of an entire program. So was glad I was get to be a part of it.
Coach, with the Harlan's game, do you see some real big positive steps there for him, or do you take it with a grain of salt, knowing that he had a big size advantage out there today, or maybe both? I don't know.
He's a large human being, so he's going to have a size advantage most nights. I mean, like I said, he's a large man amongst large men, and he's such a big target down there. And again, to me, he gives you the ultimate, like, what are you going to do when the ball is thrown in there to him? Are you going to dig it out? Are you going to double it? And you have to make a choice. And more often than not, if you choose to guard him one-on-one down there, he's either going to score it or get fouled. I mean, that is the luxury, and he's just getting in better shape. He's getting in better condition. He did miss a little time recently, leading up to our closed door scrimmage, but yeah, he's just the changes he's made to his body, and again, also inside that, just the forwards are a central focal point of your defense. They're kind of the last line of your defense. They're like your free safety or your middle linebacker. And so even his ability defensively to be where he's supposed to be in our ball screen coverages and kind of be a foundational piece down there was been fun to see.
When you see him guarding on the perimeter, I mean, like you said, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's probably, most people would think he's not supposed to be out there.
Yeah.
But you probably don't feel uncomfortable.
No, we've challenged him. We've really challenged him. I mean, if you'd asked him 6 months ago, he probably didn't think he should be out there. But, we've challenged him. He does have good feet. He's got great size. So it's really just about getting him comfortable being out there, engaging the proper amount of distance. And just, if they make a tough shot over you, then you tip your hat to them, but you don't need to foul them. You don't need to panic. And a lot of it's just getting comfortable being out there on the perimeter, which he has.
And one last one, Jenkins with his shoulder brace, is that new or something he's always had?
Just banged up a little bit, and it's just something he's gonna play with, and he'll have to wear when he plays.
What have you thought about his performance so far between today and also the closed door scrimmage?
Yeah, he gives you he gives you such a different punch. Jasper's so in control and such a good. He's an old school Chevy. He's just gonna body blow you, and he's methodical, and Amir gives you kind of like that downhill burst presence. And I thought as the game went on, he played better and played better. A little nervy like to start the game, which they should be. Like I was telling him all the time, if you don't have a little nervousness, then you're not like alive. So I think he settled in, and you saw his ability to really get in the paint and then find people when he gets in there.
How important will this film study be leading into next Tuesday's game?
Yeah, we gotta have like our best week of practice. We gotta have our best week of practice, and take what you can take from this on both sides of the ball, and learn from it, and then add to our package of what we like to do. And because once Tuesday gets here, you won't have much time for practice. I mean, I don't know it specifically, but I'm pretty sure it's like Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Monday, Friday, Sunday. So it'll be very important.
Anything else?
Do you lean on Jasper and Brennan to be leaders on the floor because they've been with you and they know kind of the situations that you like to do stuff in?
Yeah, Yeah, and both those guys have really grown into that role. They believe in what we're doing, so it's easy. You know, if you really believe in something, and you have the same level of belief in it that I do, then you take ownership in it. And so to see them like come in last year and they're just trying to figure it out, and now try to help other people figure out. They've been a great conduit. And if you think positionally, they kind of play Jasper's with the guards, Belo's with the forwards, so you kind of have a bookend on both ends that can help those other guys. And hey, like this is don't listen to how he say it, listening to what he's saying it, and can really help facilitate that message behind the scenes.
Note as well, how important is it kind of coming into this new situation with so many new players for WVU, having a point guard specifically that you can trust?
Yeah, it's everything in a lot of ways. And more than anything, I've mentioned this in the past, like Jasper has probably the best intangibles of any player that I've been around in my 23 years of college coaching. And he's the same guy. Whether we win and he scores 20 or we lose and he was bad, he's the same guy the next day. He'll sit in here and answer all criticism and take the blame. And that's almost as important. Do I trust him on the floor? Absolutely. But I also know if things ever get rocky, which they will, that he's going to be that pillar that can hold that thing together. And he has such a maturity with everything, and he really is an old soul if you get to know him. And he plays at his pace. He eats pregame meal at his pace. I mean, he doesn't do anything fast, man. He's one of those, like, when your parents tell you to slow down and eat your food, you don't have to tell him to slow down. He's savoring every bite.
Hey, Ross, what changes without Chance the next couple of games, and Jackson any closer? Do you have like a timeline on him?
I think we'll have an exact timeline on Monday, a little bit more. You're really just trying to get the strength back in it and the flexibility. But he's on schedule, ahead of schedule with that stuff. You're just kind of a race against time. And then, we'll definitely miss Chance. There's no if and buts about that. And really, you lose a versatile piece. Like again, he gives you the ability to go bigger and play him on the perimeter. And then those small ball lineups, he gives he can play a four. And he's a downhill driver. He draws fouls. He's a load in the open floor. So we'll miss him. But we'll have to find a way to do it without him, and he'll be out there quick. I mean, that's the thing about basketball. 5 games, that's like 10 days. It's not like football where you got to wait, a month and a half to get the 5 games. They'll come fast and they'll come furious.
Someone that can do that, like swing role, like Morris, for example.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have you'll see. I think you'll see more traditional 4-guard lineups, and obviously you'll be looking to extend some of these other guys' minutes a little bit. I mean, Harlan only played 18 minutes tonight. DJ played 16, so you'll have an increase in some of those lineups, and then you'll have like traditional 4-guard lineups, whether it's Amir, Honor, Trey, Morris, Jasper, Trey, Morris. I like just that combination of the 4 guards, and then you got the young guys like Jaden, Forsythe, you saw what he's capable of, and trust him, and he's getting better defensively, and that's where you're going to earn minutes with us. And he works really hard, and he wants to be coached, and that's what you love about him.
Coach, thank you.
All righty, thank y'all.